Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. Thank you for joining us. My name is Meredith Pickering, and I am the Marketing Readiness Manager here at Fiix. I'm joined in the room today by Scott Deckers, Max Matern, and Karen Nunez, who will be presenting today's webinar about our brand new Fiix CMMS mobile app, which is officially in open beta. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please go ahead and type them into the question box in your GoToWebinar control panel, and we'll be sure to bring them up at the end of the presentation during the Q&A portion. So without further ado, we will now turn the presentation over to Scott Deckers, our Head of Customer Success.
Thanks, Meredith. Thanks everyone for joining the call today. As Meredith mentioned, my name is Scott Deckers. I'm our Head of Customer Success. Just going to walk you through quickly the plan for today's call. We'll probably get you out in about 20-25 minutes, depending on how many questions we have at the end. Want to talk a little bit about what customer success is. It's a new initiative for us here at Fiix. We're really excited to let everybody know about that. I want to talk about our vision for mobile. I want to explain what an open beta is and why we're doing that. And then we're going to show you how the application works and some of the great new features. Then we're going to tell you how you can provide your feedback, because that's one of the biggest things we're looking to take away. Then finally, we'll open up to some of the questions that you guys type into the chat box. So just briefly, what is customer success? Well, customer success here at Fiix is a new initiative. It's a team of 8 of us here that are going to be dedicated consultants to help our customers unlock more value from their CMMS. Now, the way we do that is by getting with you, setting some goals and objectives, defining your goals and objectives with you, and then creating a recurring plan to help you deliver against those objectives and show real value both to your teams and to your management from a CMMS. We're really excited to kick this off, and we're really excited to be doing it in conjunction with the launch of this great new mobile application. As far as the mobile application itself, part of making customers successful is constantly improving our tools. So what we see and what's important with mobile specifically, just in general, it's really important to have a mobile application with the CMMS. The information is entered in real time. It's more accurate as a result because people aren't trying to rack their brains or their memories, go back and think about what they did earlier in the day or even earlier in the week in some cases. And secondly, this is important because it's the future. As computing devices become smaller and more pocket-sized, more and more power moves to the mobile devices, and they're able to do more and more functions that a regular computer would typically do in the past. So what are we doing specifically to our new mobile app? We've added in 3 key areas, we've really made some significant improvements. We've made the information more relevant. We've made the information available offline. And we've made the information easier to find by totally overhauling the user interface. So it's sleeker, it's easier to enter data, it's easier to find data. The relevancy, we've added filters so that you can get directly to the work that you want to do and what matters most to you, whether you're a technician or an administrator. And really key is that middle column with offline availability, where you can literally work wherever you are, whether that's right beside a cell phone tower or hundreds of miles out to sea. You'll still be able to close work orders and log the activities in real time wherever you happen to be. So what is open beta? Well, quickly, just to walk you through a regular software lifecycle when you're building a product. When the first release is ready, we call that an alpha. It's usually not very stable. It's tested internally. We then open it up to a closed group of beta participants. They provide some feedback, some guidance. It's typically not fully stable. And open beta is really what we consider to be production ready in terms of quality and stability, but it may not be 100% feature complete. So that's where we need feedback from our customers and our users to tell us what's the most important things to improve upon as we go live. So key message here is the beta is ready for full-time use. And you can you'll be able to try that out as you use it in your environment. So to get you using it, a couple of notes on that. Again, just to reiterate, moving into open beta allows us to capture that feedback and incorporate it into our future releases. And we can't go to a general release before you tell us what we should do before we go any further. And so on that note, I will let you see what's in the application and pass it over to my colleague, Max Matern. Max is going to give you a demonstration of our new mobile application.
Hi, everybody. So I'm a CSM here at Fiix. What that means is I'm a customer success manager, and I deal with a subset of our customers and specifically help them be successful in our software. So what you're seeing here in front of you is a Samsung device. It's an Android device. And I'm going to show you how to acquire the new Fiix app, as well as then some basic functionality of it, and show you what's new. What you're seeing is the screen, and I'm just going to show you where to go find it. So on Android, that's going to be on the Play Store. On an Apple device, that's going to be the iOS App Store. So I'm going to go to the Play Store. At the top, I just have to search Fiix CMMS. And you're going to see two apps there. The Fiix Mobile, that's the older app that we have. It's been out in the market for a few years now. Fiix CMMS is the one you want. You're going to click on that. Right now, you can see it says unreleased. That just means it's in open beta. You can still download it. I've already got it, so I can click this open button, and it's actually going to open it for me. So I've just opened up the Fiix CMMS app, the new one. And you can see at the top that we've got branding. So if I were to delete one of these letters, it's going to remove that branding and just have the generic Fiix background. If you've added branding to your CMMS, that'll show up at the top. And then at the bottom, you're going to see we retained that ability to create a work request. If I were to click on this, I could submit a work request the same way that I did with the old application. So now I'm going to log in, and we're going to see what it looks like. So the first thing you're going to notice is that there is a completely new layout. It's simplified. It's made much clearer what you have to do, when you have to do it. And there's also these filters here. So the filters here are for work orders that are overdue, started, to do, and done. So overdue, obviously, it's something that should have been done before today's date. That's going to sit in there. If there's something that you've started, as in you've completed a couple of the tasks, that's going to sit in the started folder. And to do means work orders that we haven't started yet and we haven't done any work on. The other thing you're going to notice is on the left on the menu, we've got the normal sort by site option. And then we also have Fiix Chat. So Fiix Chat is new. It's entirely exclusive to the new application. And it's a way for you to submit those feature requests and items that you're not seeing in the current app that you'd like to see. It'll connect you directly with our product organization during the open beta. So I'm going to go through a couple of simple workflows, and we'll cover the basics of the new application. So first thing I'm going to do is go down and actually complete this scheduled maintenance here. So I'm going to click in, and I can see that it's assigned to me because it's got my initial right there. Work orders that are assigned to people it's assigned to a group are going to show up as a little icon like this. So it's got my initial, I'm going to click into it. Now I can see that I've got the status up at the top. I've got when it's due, how much time it's going to take, what type of maintenance it is, description. All of that's laid out for me very clearly. And when I go into tasks, I can see which tasks I've got to complete. So completing tasks is very similar to the old app. I'm going to go through, I'm going to go click complete task, click done. And once I've completed a task, you can see that it turns green. So there's a really simple visual way of telling which tasks you've completed, which tasks are yet to be completed. And as I go through and complete these tasks, they're each going to turn green. Now this is a inspection task. Inspection tasks are new on the new mobile app. They're not on the old mobile app. They're one of the newer features that we've released. And they allow you to enter in a pass or fail type task. And so those are permanent. Those will lead to follow-on tasks. So we need to be sure that what you're entering is right, and it's going to trigger a follow-on task, or it's going to register that pass or fail in the system permanently. Go through and complete some more tasks. And I'm going to go and use a part before I'm done this. And this is a new way of entering parts in the system. So in my opinion, it's much more intuitive. I can click use part. And instead of entering in a number value like I did on the old application, I can actually just click this plus sign to use one of them and click apply. So it's really simple. It means that you can do it all with one hand. Coming back, I'm going to complete the rest of this task. And now I can go and close the work order. And I'm all done. So that's out of my queue. So like Scott said, there is another important aspect of the new application that we introduced, which is offline mode. It means that you can operate this CMMS completely without internet. So that whether that's a Wi-Fi signal or without a mobile data network, you can use the software and completely work. So I'm going to show you how we would simulate that in this environment. I'm going to turn on airplane mode, which is going to cut off connection with the outside world. So we're currently offline. You can see the airplane mode icon at the top. Now I can actually still go in and complete work. So I'm going to use the scan button at the bottom here. It's going to pop open my camera. And it went ahead and it scanned the QR code that I had in the corner already. But the QR code scanning is now something that's still on the software. So you can see I've got the full details of the asset that I just scanned, and I can see there's a work order to be completed on it. So I'm going to go and complete that work order, reminding you that we're still offline. So I'm going to go to tasks. I see there's an inspection to be made. I'm going to say it's not functioning, and it needs a new gauge. I'm going to confirm that. So I'm going to add a part to this work order. So adding parts, pretty simple. I'm going to click this big orange button at the bottom right. I'm going to search for what I'm looking for. Oil pressure gauge is what I'm looking for. I'm going to add that to the work order and say 1 and click apply. So I've just added that again, and we can close this work order. So we just completed a work order entirely offline. It's out of our queue. I could complete another one here for a bulk depalletizer. Same story. I'm just going to complete all the work orders, or sorry, complete all the tasks as I go. And if there's a part to use, I'm going to use that part. So you can see how quickly I did that. That's really how simple it is to use. You can, once you've learned how to use it, it's very, very quick and efficient, and it's going to get out of the way of your technicians, reducing a lot of the headaches associated with completing work orders. So that's about it for the new mobile app. There is, of course, a full list of your assets in there. And you can add parts to work orders. You can create work orders here by clicking this this little orange button at the bottom right, enter in the information for the asset, and add some tasks the same way that you did on the old work order system. So in summary, it's just an easier, clearer way of doing your work, and it allows you to use the system entirely offline. There are a couple things that you can't do offline, and I'll let Karen cover those in the Q&A section.
Thanks, Max. How can you help shape the future of our mobile application? Well, as Max mentioned, right in the app, there's an easy way to provide that feedback directly to our team. Encourage everybody on the line to take advantage of that as often as possible, because that information is going to go directly to our product group. They're going to hear that directly from our end users, and that's incredibly important insight for everybody on that team. And again, back to the original beginning message I led off with, you have access now to a customer success representative, and I would encourage you to use that resource. So please provide us with feedback, thoughts, comments. If you know your customer success rep, please get in touch with them. If not, they'll be reaching out to you over the coming days. and introducing themselves, and you can provide both mobile feedback as well as existing application feedback on the desktop. So we're really eager. It's a critical point in our software development is getting that customer feedback. So we want to encourage as much of that as we can get. And with that, I will turn it over to Karen and Meredith for our Q&A.
Thanks, Scott. So like we just mentioned, we're going to go ahead and take some time for questions now. During this portion, if you do think of any additional questions that come up, feel free to just type those into the question box in your GoToWebinar control panel. We have a couple questions that have just come in here, so we're going to go and start with those. A few questions have come in about whether or not certain features are available in the new application that were currently available in the other application that we offer. So I'd like to sort of address those questions up front. I know in the presentation we mentioned that new features will continue to be released. So Karen, can you speak to this in a little bit more detail, please?
Yes, sure. Thanks, Meredith. Hi, I'm Karen, and I'm responsible for mobile product management here at Fiix. Anything that you do not see in the app today is either going to be there in regular release cycles that in which we will be releasing new features to the app. And you can let your CSMs know what your needs are or send us feedback through Fiix chat within the application, and we will try and address your needs in the best possible time frame.
All right, thanks, Karen. Another question here. This person asks, are there any things that I can't do in the app when I'm in offline mode?
Yes, there are 3 features in the application that you cannot use in the offline mode, namely logging into the app, creating a work request from the login page, and changing the status of an asset from offline to online and vice versa. The reason we've kept changing of the status online only is because our users prefer everyone to be aware of the change when an asset status is changed, and that is possible only in the online mode.
All right, sounds good. Another question asker here has said, do I have to set anything up when I log into the app for the first time?
No, you do not need to set up anything. You can use the same credentials that you use today on the old app or on your desktop application to log into the new app. And once you've logged in, it will take a couple of minutes for your data to load automatically, and you should be good to start using the app.
Okay. Another question here. What about the current Fiix mobile app? Will I still be able to access or use that application? Are you planning to end of life it?
Currently, there are no specific plans to end of life the old application until we've received enough feedback from the open beta. And as part of our commitment and communications with our customers, we will provide advanced notification for the end of life if the need arises. Included in those communications will be resources and assistance in migrating to the new app.
Okay, a few more questions coming in here. So just bear with us. This question asker says, can you rotate the app on a tablet?
Yes, you should be able to rotate the app on a tablet.
Okay, straightforward enough. Philip asks, where is the data that appears in the old app but not in the new app?
So currently in the new app, we are showing work orders that are assigned to you or a group that you're in, and you will only see work orders that are under the active control. The old app also showed you work orders that were closed, but the new app does not. Could be the reason why you're seeing a less number of work orders in your list at the moment.
Okay, Julie asks, does the new app remember your domain and login?
The new app keeps you logged in for 30 days. So if you haven't manually logged out, once you log in, you'll be in the app for 30 days.
Okay. I have a question here that says, is there any way of automating a work order so that it prompts you to close the work order if all tasks are completed?
Yes, we do have a feature in the new app. Once you've completed all tasks, you should see a pop-up message that indicates you should, and asks you if you would like to close the work order.
Okay, one more question here, another one from Philip. Philip asks, is this just a test database?
The application is in a testing phase, which means we will be adding new features to the application. But if you mean by database of your particular customer database, it's actually your data that shows on your desktop application and the old application. It's the same thing that's being translated to the new application.
Yeah, the database that we used for the demonstration is a just sample database that we pulled from our customer success team. It's not necessarily a production environment.
Okay, and we have another question here from Julie. Julie asks what the time frame is for new features to be added.
Julie, we are currently going to assess all the feedback that comes in from the open beta, and over the next couple of weeks, we will have a clear roadmap which will be communicated to all our customers.
All right, another few questions just trickling in here. Is there any difference between the Android and the iOS when you're using the application?
The application is the same, but there are a few things that are not on the iOS app today. For example, on Android, you can add general meter reading and text tasks to a work order, but in iOS, as of now, you can add only general tasks. The disparity in features is not large, and you will see in future releases, you will see similar features on both being released on both platforms.
Okay. Another question here from Julie. Julie has also asked, can guest users use the application to create work orders?
Currently, guest users can create work requests from the login page of the application. If you'd like to create a guest request from within the application by logging in, you can create a work order and change the status to requested, which makes it a guest work request.
All right, so I'm not seeing any other questions here, so it looks like we've covered pretty much everything. Scott, Karen, or Max, is there anything else you want to cover before we wrap up?
Just really appreciate everybody attending and all the interest we've seen in the new application. We're really looking forward to hearing what everybody thinks after they test it out.
All right. So thank you, everybody. We really appreciate you joining us today. Just a reminder that we will be sending out a recording of today's webinar to the email that you used to register with. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to either your customer success representative, or like we've mentioned, you can add feedback directly in the app using Fiix Chat, whatever is most convenient for you. So on that note, thanks again for joining us, and we will see you next time. Thanks, everybody.